Soul for your morning as we get started off. So, yes, we are doing a roundup of the news breaking headlines this morning. Now, there's one thing that has been uniting Kenyans, and that is just the quagmire as to what's going on with Ruto and his, seesaw with his weight. And guys have been wondering, ile picha alichukua ile ya presidency, the one when you're checking it to be president, the one that's hanging around in all our offices. And they look the same like the way he's looking now because he's lost a massive amount of weight. So there have been a lot of theories being thrown around. Guys are like, oh, he might be a trouble man. Or guys are like, the weight of the country is a lot to have on your shoulders, which it is. Can you imagine one man making the decisions for an entire country? It's a lot. Others are saying probably he's not eating well and observing his diet. There's so many things that people are just speculating, but he's come out to speak himself. Now on May 14th, he broke the silence on viral photos that showed that he had drastically cut weight. Naruto speaking during a media engagement at State House, Nairobi, where he fielded questions on the state of the nation. Responding to a question posed by Eric Latif of Spice FM, Ruto explained that he was trying to keep fit, hence cutting weight. He said, I had an original fitness routine, but it ran amok the last 1.5 years because we went into an election. He says, when you go to an election, you have a lot of pressure and sometimes you take it out on food. Ruto added that when he was on the campaign trail, he did not know when he would have his next meal. He said sometimes you have to overeat while campaigning because you do not know the next time you will get time to eat. I'm not trying to cut down because I have a huge responsibility as head of state. Ruto's explanation came in the wake of concerns among Kenyans over the head of state's weight, with some wondering whether he was overworking or depressed. The president, in the interview, further explained the work he had been doing since assuming power as president in September 13th, 2022. He said, "We are trying to bring the economy back on track, and my team is working day and night." Even when you look at Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, you'll also see he has cut weight because he's working through the night, trying to over here be not by your salo. But you haven't seen anything with Musalia Mudavadi. I'll take a look today. He says on his achievements, he touted his affordable housing project as a game changer that would provide 200,000 units every year. He also revealed that he was making cooking gas available as well as looking at ways to lower the cost of living. But speaking of the cost of living, EPRA now has said that it will increase prices for May to June 2023. Now, the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, EPRA, on Sunday, May 14th, released the new fuel prices for the next 30 days, announcing the increase in fuel prices. In its monthly review of the fuel prices, the authority noted that the petroleum pump prices in Nairobi increased as follows. Now, super petrol, diesel, and kerosene would go up by 3 shillings 40 cents per litre, 6 shillings 40 cents per litre, and 15 shillings 19 cents per litre, respectively. EPRA also announced that the subsidy on diesel and kerosene was removed. Thus, Nairobi petrol prices rose to 182.70. Diesel increased to 168.40 and kerosene to 161.13. In Mombasa, petrol, diesel, and kerosene rose to 179.86, 165.57, and 158.30. Motorists in Nakuru will buy petrol, diesel, and kerosene at 181.83, 167.91, and 160.65, respectively. As for Eldoret, petrol will rise at 182.54, diesel at 168.61, and kerosene at 161.35. As per the EPRA release, some areas will buy petrol between 184 to 191. Those areas include Meru, Chuka, Nanyuki, Mtito Andei, Kitui, Marsabit, Laisamis, Sololo, Dadaab, Elwak, Wajir, and Isiolo. Now, there's an explanation to this according to Ruto and how Kenyans will benefit from double fuel tax. President William Ruto on Sunday, May 14th, explained how Kenyans will benefit from increased fuel tax from 8% to 16%. According to his address, where he addressed the media at State House, the president explained that the double tax was meant to benefit Kenyans in the long run. Ruto explained that the high levies would eliminate loopholes in the fuel sector as well as free up money for development. He says, when I came to the office, I found that we had commitments of 900 billion on the roads. I have worked with various departments and brought the number to 680 billion. He says, if I have to complete these roads, I need money. Everywhere I go, Kenyans tell me they need roads. Ruto revealed that the extra 8% would bring in 50 billion, which will go towards investing in road infrastructure development. Here I am crossing my fingers. Secondly, the president revealed that there were cartels who were using the system to fleece Kenyans. He said, I have differential rates on one at 8%, another at 16%, pose an integrity problem. People were using it as a loophole to manipulate the system. The advisors said we must eliminate the loophole. Defending his administration on allegations that the tax increase would hurt Kenyans, Ruto announced that it was well balanced. He said, I've made checks and balances to ensure that the increased tax is cushioned and does not affect Kenyans. I've removed 3.5 road development levy on fuel and another 2% on IDF fuel levy. President Ruto further faulted former President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration for engineering a fuel crisis. Okay. We're coming to a year now. Are we going to stop hearing about Uhuru's administration? Because now, I think when it gets to about 2 years, that narrative would have to change just a little bit. But the taxes are there, and they're coming, and they're heavy. Okay, there's a man on TikTok who was complaining about the 3% levy for housing development, and his reasoning was, some Kenyans are not asked for housing. Actually, we just want to use our money, okay? We don't want to be taxed of your. Okay, that maybe not be of your. It seems like he has a reason for everything, okay? And he's trying to explain it in a way that Kenyans can understand, slowly by slowly. But now there's the house levy that has been introduced, and some Kenyans are not feeling it because they're like, we might not actually need the house levy because we're not looking to buy houses. So his reasoning also was a man in Marsabit works for his money and then tries to get, he gets 3% house levy removed from him. And that house levy might be serving for somebody, for people in Nairobi. And he's wondering, how would he leave Marsabit to come and live a heavy lifestyle in Nairobi while paying that 3% house levy and only get maybe a 1-bedroom house? That was his reasoning. And he was like, these taxes are becoming way too much. Like I told you last week, also, the digital content creators are not too far behind because that tax has been put in 15%. So anybody who has contracted a digital content creator would have to impose a 15% withholding tax. Yeah, interesting time for Kenyans. Now, speaking of interesting time for Kenyans, maybe Africa, I've been saying it for a long time. Guys are like, they don't affect us. And I've been talking about gun violence and the way it has been rampant, absolutely rampant within our borders and across our borders. Now, there's a clip that was going around. I don't know if we have it yet. But yeah, there's a clip that was going around over the weekend of that was courtesy of Nairobi Gossip, and it was of a radio station. They were having their show, they were doing their usual entertainment, and it looked like it was a Kikuyu-based station in the heart of Nakuru. I think it's called Moenjoy FM, and they were out there just doing their thing, just out there to entertain the people, and then all of a sudden, I think 2 or 3 gun-wielding guys suddenly appeared and threatened them and put them down on the floor and started robbing them. Live. Okay? Live on air. Like these guys made their way past maybe what I assume is a reception, or if there's no reception, into that room, walked in. The cameras were on, they started whispering. They started whispering. Like they knew the mics were on and they were like, and they still proceeded to hit people around, toss them around kidogo on live camera, on live air. And this was for many people to see, to the point that it was recorded. And this is where we are at. We are literally, again, the wild, wild west, where guys are using guns rampantly without any regard whatsoever to get what they want done. Like I hear about a music producer who does the same thing. He threatens guys with his gun. He goes throwing it everywhere in the air, trying to, get his way or showing off in one way or another. And it is quite well known. One person who's his neighbor claimed that he was showing it to his kids. His toy must be, I think, 9 or 10 years old. So he was there kissing it to them, blah, blah, blah. And I'm wondering, like, okay, you get a gun for safety, right? What if your child studies you, sees how you handle the gun, sees where you keep it, decides to go for it and harms themselves or harms others? Like, my God. Hey. Anyway. In Uganda, a cop shot a lender over 777,000 shillings, Kenya shillings, loan, and was caught sneaking into Kenya. Now, Uganda police officer who went viral after he was captured on CCTV camera shooting a lender was arrested on Sunday, May 14th. The officer, reportedly on the run, was arrested at the Busia customs area as he tried to sneak into Kenya. Police officers from Kenya detained him at Busia police station as the investigations continued into events surrounding the murder that happened on Friday, May 12th. A joint team of security traced the suspect to Busia district. Now, on Saturday, May 13th, flying squad unit joined the territorial police of Busia. Now, on Sunday, May 14th, at around 0700 hours, the suspect was arrested in Busia municipality at customs by the joint team, a statement read from the Ugandan police. The Ugandan police officers revealed that the suspect had already snuck to the side of Kenya before he was taken back to Uganda for interrogation. In the viral CCTV footage, the police officer could be seen shooting repeatedly at a money lender. My word. Police officers revealed that the lender, who is of Indian descent, was the owner of a popular learning institution. Further investigations revealed that the officer had borrowed 77,000 Kenya shillings from the lender in 2020, and he had been servicing ever since. It has also come to light that the police officer was banned from carrying a firearm in 2018 due to a case of mental illness. Commenting on the issue, Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni blamed the murder for a gap in the country's security agencies. He said, "How did an off-duty policeman access a gun? Did he walk away from his guard post without permission with a gun to commit the crime? Why did that local security allow an armed person into the building who had no guard business there?" Museveni said that the answers to those questions would help to plug the gaps in the security system. Now, I'm looking at the clip, or rather an image of it. It looks like they were in a heated conversation from just the picture that I've seen. And the space is quite small where it happened. Can you imagine him shooting at this person repeatedly? And there were people in that room. My God, the terror. Yeah, that brings to an end the roundup of news this morning. When we come back, we'll be looking at Innovation Mondays and what somebody has done or what a group of people would have done to be able to improve the lives of their community or the people around them in one way or another. Keep it here on Icon Radio, where we are your number one entertainment plug. It is. That was Kantai and Jack Money. The last time I heard that song, Lord Jesus, it's been a while. And what about that throwback, that 254 love right here on the Professor Breakfast Jam. We usually do that between 8 and 9 a.m. where we play strictly Kenyan throwbacks. So, of course, we'd love to hear from you guys what you would like to listen to. What's that throwback jam, Yani, that you could just get into your system and you're like, I want to hear that. I haven't heard that in such a long time. Just let me know. +254 788 380030 when we play it tomorrow. But for now, we are going into our innovation story of the day. And this is of a 17-year-old girl who innovates biogas tech to aid Ruto's lower cost of living. Now, among measures President William Ruto put in place to lower the cost of living after assuming office in September 2022 were reducing the cost of fertilizer and paving the way for the construction of green energy and fertilizer facilities. Renewable energy sources generate over 80% of Kenya's electricity today. President Ruto has repeatedly reiterated that the government's commitment to achieving the United Nations Sustainable Goals and transitioning to 100% clean energy by 2030. From solar power energy to electric vehicles aimed at reducing pollution and biogas for cooking, the president is also keen on increasing employment opportunities and rebuilding the economy. Now, let me tell you, if there's one thing I love about this government, it's the fact that it's going heavy on alternative sources of energy and just reducing the amount of natural energy that we generate, like now for cooking from your wood and your basically your wood, from way from charcoal to now fertilizer or I don't know how else to put it, and I'm sorry, cow poop. Using that as your sanitary source of energy. I love the way they're championing that. I love the way they're championing solar power energy as opposed to electricity. Also using solar power to basically fuel our vehicles right now. There are a lot of I'm getting a lot of brain farts today, a lot. But there are a lot of these cars that use the what are they called? The electric pumps. I'll get the name in just a bit. I'm telling you, I'm suffering from a severe brain fart. But yes, there are those electric powered cars that use electricity to be able to move around. And now when you go around Nairobi, you'll find areas where people are able to re-energize their cars using these refill stations. Not refill, rather, but repowering stations. Even for motorcycles, there's one in Parklands, just right next to the petrol station over there, next to K1. There's a electric power recharging station for motorcycles, meaning they're also coming into the country. So I really love the championing that President Ruto and his government is doing behind alternative sources of energy. Now, Luciana and Jerry is a 17-year-old Form 4 student at State House Girls who innovated a biogas project to aid the government in achieving its goals. Ruto to secure his legacy. Now, biogas project, she told Kenyans.co.ke on April 30th, 2023, was reinvented to aid urban residents, majorly those within Nairobi. Jerry, at school's science club member, presented her project at the 56th Science and Engineering Fair. Now, she said that their exits countless biogas projects tailor-made to offer different solutions. My project targets urban residents different from the other prominents in rural areas. While the urban population, they pay most of the taxes, consume more energy, and dump more waste. You know what I also love, apart from what President Ruto's government is doing, is how very young school-going girls are literally just becoming innovative day by day. There's one we highlighted last week who is helping out, or rather give out a project that could help NTSA with just regulating drivers who are speeding or who are not using their safety equipment, and just getting their cars to slow down using the gadget that she came up with. There was another one who came up with something that would help physics and math students kind of just like learn things a little bit easier through her innovation. And here's another girl who has innovated a biogas project that will aid the government in achieving its goals. Girls, girls, whatever you're eating, it is working. It's amazing because you're seeing more and more of them championing different things in different areas and in different sectors of Kenya. And it's amazing. It's very impressive to see. So when we come back, we'll be taking a look at what's unique about her particular project. And of course, now that she's coming out and speaking about it, what's next for her. Keep it right here on the Breakfast Jam as we continue to look at our Innovation Monday. And of course, you can get to the conversations on our WhatsApp number, that's +254 788 380030, as well as our YouTube channel in the comment section right there. And let us know your thoughts on our conversation this morning. ceremony back there with kid that I think was called Badu. I'm not even sure. I'm just trying to get the name real quick. That was a mad throwback. Those are the songs that we managed to just, yeah, bring out here. It's called Bado. And yeah, that track, one of my favorite tracks of the early 2000s was that one. I just loved how it came together. And Jack Money on the track it was just magical. Like he actually knew how to bring it out in his own unique way because he had a very unique voice. And what I loved about him is that he tried to take in as much as he could from some of the OGs. Like he worked with Kantai, he worked with Jua, and he was a guy from West T. So even seeing a guy, yeah, coming from West T and then working with a guy from Caliph, it used to be not so common back in the day, especially when there was that, Ogopa Caliph kind of stable was. But now here he came and he made it cool. He made it actually cool. So yes, that was one of our throwback jams for this hour. And now we are taking it back to taking a look at our Innovation Monday story of the day. And this is from a very impressive young girl who goes by the name Luciana Njeri, who's a 17-year-old Form 4 student at State House Girls who innovated a biogas project to aid the government in achieving its goals and Ruto secure his legacy. Now, her biogas project, she told Kenyans.co.ke, on April 30th, 2023, was reinvented to aid urban residents, majorly those within Nairobi. Jerry, a school science club member, presented her project at the 56th Science and Engineering Fair. She said there exists countless biogas projects tailor-made to offer different solutions. My project targets urban residents different from the other prominents in rural areas. While the urban population, they pay most of the taxes, consume more energy, and dump more waste. Now, what's unique about this particular project? Nigeria innovated a modernized waste container basket where one could dump their waste and within a maximum of 7 days have biogas. It is simple to install. We connect the basket outside, let's say your kitchen balcony, then fix a hose pipe to your gas cooker. Yes, a hose pipe, not a hose pipe. A hose pipe to your gas cooker. You don't have to worry about it being ugly, as it can fit anywhere outside, whether you stay in a bungalow or 8th floor of an apartment. Not all waste can be dumped into the basket as it accommodates organic material only. Organic waste is that which supports decomposition. This includes foods like ugali, sukuma wiki, cabbage, and fruits. She says, yes, I do not advocate dumping waste like glass, steel wool, plastics, and paper bags as we target biogas and slurry. She continues to say, when any organic material decomposes, you get the biogas and the slurry. The slurry can be used as a fertilizer and it will lower the cost of living as it decreases agricultural productivity. Jerry states, adding that the local production of fertilizer will aid President William Ruto's food production agenda. The head of state reduced fertilizer prices from 6,000 to 3,500 on hopes that the move would aid in reducing food prices in the country, especially unga, and currently trading between 160 to 230 shillings. What an impressive and bright innovation. Now, when we come back, we'll be looking also at solar and what Luciana hopes it will do again for increasing the use of alternative means of energy as opposed to ones that are generated through either electricity or charcoal. Keep it right here as we continue to look at our Innovation Money topic of the day. Kidogo with Eric Wine Nina, of course, reminding us that yes, hey, this country is for extreme sports. But yes, we love it all the same. We're finishing off with our innovation story of the day. And we're looking at Lucian and Jerry, who came up with an innovative way of producing biogas from just the things you throw away, your ugali, your skuma, your things that are decomposable, and then after 7 days, turning them into biogas that can be used for fuel. Now, she's also looking at solar. And she added that the project could also create solar energy, but from a bigger supply of waste to power electricity in homes. She said, we can do this through a bigger plant with research being conducted on its feasibility and how to leverage waste production. Look at Ruaraka, Kangemi, and Ngong markets where organic waste is dumped. I know of such projects being looked into in Dandora, but more of these in urban markets can create employment for youth, create green energies, lower cost of living, waste management, and sanitization. Like, it was so interesting for me. Like, I used to live in Langata. I grew up in Langata. And you've been to Langata, there is a Rubia estate as you come down going towards Southlands. And what's distinct about these most of these homes is that they have gates facing the road. So one of these gates now served as a dumping site. First of all, I wondered, how is this person managing to stay with garbage right outside their digs? But it looked like it was a collection point. Yeah. So I was trying to understand, like, what was the exact initiative behind this, because first of all, garbage in Langata is a lot. Yes, Dandora is huge. It's a main dumping area. But in Langata, like, you always find churches trying to do cleanup projects, but uchafu still comes back because, there's Kijiji, there are kiosks, there are... Yani, the place is crowded, so it's forever just having garbage. So for it to serve as a collection point as outside of somebody's home, they either have turned that into a business or they turn that into a charity. Whichever the case, more power to them. But there is a lot of garbage, but there are better ways of disposing of garbages. Not a word. Of garbage. And the point of decomposing it is one of the best and easiest ways, especially if just returning it into renewable energy. The other day I watched a guy who took cuckoo manure from his farm. He would harvest it every morning, and then process it, and then now use it for his cooking, use it to power his home, use it to power his car. Impressive stuff. So now she says the project will thus aid lower the cost of fuel, which accounts for nearly 50% of taxes. At her school, St. Girls, she hopes to set up a dome-shaped cylinder with government and investors' aid to produce biogas. Showcasing and competing with the government at the Engineering and Science Fair was quite demanding. Jerry was not among the top 3 in the regionals and did not proceed to the finals. However, she was cognizant of the skills and talents of competitors, a factor which motivates for more. She also appreciated her school, which she stated has been supportive by offering her ample time to research and access other resources. She added that her classmates, Rhoda and teacher Justice Kimolo, pushed her towards success. So she also attributes a lot to her father, and says, I am proud of how the father is proud of her also, and she attributes a lot to him, and he said that I'm proud of how she speaks of me as a dad, that I have been the father she needed. She's my firstborn of 4 daughters and my best friend. We talk and encourage each other. She's a go-getter, and I believe her project will come to fruition. I believe her project will come to fruition as well, and you're indeed our icon of the day, Miss Lucian and Jerry, and we do hope that this would be something that will be adopted, because it is a simple way of doing it. It's just that people need to be shown how to do it, and then they'll be using other alternative ways and clean sources of energy, so that we're able to, one, protect our environment, conserve our sources of energy that exists right now, and just stay away from the ones that are currently declining in our climate. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. It is exactly 9 a.m. We're going to be having a Friday Wood stepping in to give us the news bulletin. And when we come back, we'll be taking in your requests of the day. Keep it right here. This is The Breakfast Jam.
Welcome to Icon Radio News highlights at 9. Friday Wood. Deaths at Shakahola toll up 201 after 22 more bodies were exhumed. One more suspect has been arrested, bringing the number of those detained over the deaths to 26. Throughout this week, authorities have been digging up shallow graves scattered through the forest looking for any survivors, as hundreds of people are still reported missing. On Friday, 29 more bodies were found, including those of 12 children found in one grave. Suspects behind rape and robbery incidents were arrested by the police, having been believed to be part of a gang that has been linked to a group of robbers and gang rapes within the county. According to DCI statement, the duo were arrested on their way to Koricho, where it is believed that they had been hired to commit murder and other atrocities. Philip Omolo and Dan Kuma are believed to be part of a 7-member gang that ambushed residents in Lala village on May 10th, where they are said to have raped a woman and made away with some goods. The duo will remain in police custody for interrogation as they await arraignment. The Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority has announced an increase in the maximum retail price of super petrol by 2 shillings per litre for the March 15th to April 14th, 2023 pricing cycle. The prices, according to EPRA, are inclusive of the 8% value-added tax and are in line with the provisions of the Finance Act 2018 and the Tax Laws Act 2020. The prices also take into account the revised rates for excise duty adjusted for inflation. EPRA added that the price of diesel has been cross-subsidized with that of super petrol, while a subsidy of 23.49 shillings per litre has been maintained for kerosene to cushion consumers from high prices. Deputy Rigathi Gachagua announced that he will convene a 4-day stakeholder conference in Meru County next month on the implementation of coffee reforms. Early this year, under an executive order, President William Ruto tasked his deputy with the role of spearheading reforms in the coffee and tea subsectors. Speaking at Kairiani Catholic Church, he said that today he will be hosting the Vice President of Colombia, and they shall be sharing experiences and discuss matters relating to coffee because their country has succeeded in fetching good prices for the farmers. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, has recovered an executive residential property worth 52 million shillings located in Nyali, Mombasa County. The property has been grabbed from the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority in the year 2000. The property, which has been the subject of a lawsuit, has a 4-bedroom bungalow and a servant quarters erected on it. The EACC filed the civil case at the Environment and Land Court in 2009, seeking to recover and return the property to the government. In the case, the EACC has sued Luka Kimutai, his wife Sally Chepkoech, and Toro Estates, who are both directors of the company. Now you're up to date on Icon Radio News. I'm Fridaywood.
had Clubbing with Marcus Houston, Pump It Up. Joe Budden, of course, also was featuring in Clubbing as well. And then Joe Budden as well on uh yeah, it's Monday. It was a song with Buster. Fire. Right. That was the name of the song. Fire. So if you've noticed the trend, we are indeed featuring Joe Budden as our artist of this Monday. So, like I told you last week, we'll be actually featuring a few artists here and there during the week and just highlighting them and their music. Joe Biden stuck up at me yesterday, and I was like, this guy has actually been very prolific in the music industry. Now he has this podcast where he speaks his mind. He was also, apart from his music career, for you guys who love Ratchet TV like I do, on Love and Hip Hop, he was highly condescending, but highly entertaining at the same time. He was one of the best additions to Love and Hip Hop New York ever. Because, he would talk to you in the most condescending way, but it would make sense. That was Joe Biden for you. Now, Joe Biden is an American media personality and former rapper. He first gained recognition as a rapper with his 2003 top 40 single, Pump It Up. And as a member of the hip hop supergroup Slaughterhouse in 2018, he retired from rap and found success as a broadcaster, having a much publicized run as a co host on Everyday Struggle for Complex. He currently hosts the Joe Biden podcast, released twice a week on Patreon and YouTube, and State of the Culture on Revolt. He has been described as the Howard Stern of hip hop. I'm telling you, like, this guy does not hold back whatsoever. Like, he tells it to you as it is, straight, no chaser. Whether you like it or not, he's gonna tell you what's up. So I got the name of one of the songs wrong. So it was Joe Biden featuring Busta Rhymes. That was starting off the hour with Fire. Joe Budden also Pump It Up. She Don't Put It Down. That was featuring a whole host of people. And Marcus Houston featuring Joe Budden with Clubbing. So if you love Joe Budden like I do, holla. All right. Speaking of hollering, big shout out to Angel who says, pick my call. I was so confused when I read that. I was like, when did you call us? Me, I didn't see any call. I asked when my producers, I was like, hey, did you see a missed call? What are you talking about? Kumbe, it was a song we played. Emoji featuring Giuliani. And she said, pick my call. Hey, perfect for this morning. On that vibe, kindly play for me Bahasha Yao Campo by Giuliani. That's coming right up. And she also commented on Joe Budden, says he was the first guy to cry on Love and Hip Hop. Don't forget. Not quite right. If you have been a Love and Hip Hop fan from the very beginning, the first person to actually cry, the first man to cry on Love and Hip Hop was actually Jim Jones. Chrissy's man. Mama Jones' son. He was the first guy to actually show his emotions after, pumping up his muscles and being, a guy like, don't mess with my woman, don't mess with my mother, don't mess with my money. He was that kind of guy, but when it came to his emotions, like, he was not one to shy away from it. But of course, seeing Joe Budden actually, releasing his emotions and showing guys, yeah, I'm also like, kind of like a person in the inside, also great to see. But Joe Budden, man, say, hey. I'm telling you, the condemnation that you give someone with Diani, you'd feel it in your bones. You know he's dissing you, but you don't know how to react to it. Because again, he would do it, kind of like with a smile on his face. Yeah, Angel, yes, it was actually Jim Jones who was the first man to cry on Love and Hip Hop and showed that a thug also needs a hug. All right. Let's take a quick look at the weather as we go into our conversation this morning. For Nairobi, it's going to at 10 a.m., 20 degrees, partly sunny, humidity at 74%. For Mombasa, 28 degrees, mostly sunny, humidity at 79%. Kisumu, 25 degrees, humidity at 65%, mostly sunny at this time. Kisumu is getting hot. Nairobi also over the weekend was quite hot. Now, speaking about the weekend, a lot of mothers were celebrating their Mother's Day I wonder what did you get for your Mother's Day? I got my card on Friday. I was about to come and display it here like a proud mother on this desk, and then I was like, no, let me not make anybody feel bad. But it's on my desk in my office, sitting right there and pretty. But yes, I got a card from a little Munchkins. Jamal made it, but of course Ethan has to jump on it and say, yes, we made it together. But yes, absolutely loved that from my boys, and of course lots of cuddles and hugs over the weekend. What did you get from your people? But hey, let me tell you, hey, his social media, where can make somebody who over here feel FOMO for everything. Like the things that women were being done for out here, not minimizing what anybody was done for. But guy, where guys are being taken out for dinners. Some women were in helicopters. Others were being taken for trips. If social media is something to live by, let me tell you, we'd all be dying young. We would all be dying very early from a lot of heartache. And you never know how people are going about their things. Nowadays, being an influencer is everywhere. Do you know you can be an influencer with only 500 followers? 500 followers can make you a nano influencer and get a company to actually bank on you to kind of like either test their product or talk about their product or promote their product in one way or another. So, yes, if you didn't know, now you know, you can actually become a nano influencer by just having 500 followers. So, you never know how people are actually, kind of, getting by and, getting their guap or getting some of these perks that we see on social media. So please, Aki guy, people, don't put yourself out there and get into such a heart attack or make Mama Baba Boy feel bad because you didn't get your helicopter ride. Some of these things are fake it till you make it on social media. But for all the mothers who celebrated their birthdays, who celebrated their Mother's Day yesterday in one way or another. Happy Mother's Day to you guys. We're still celebrating you because let me tell you, the world would not exist if there were no women in the world, there were no mothers in the world. Like literally, for real. No matter what Akon says, there is no way the world would exist without women, without mothers. They're the ones who have nursed you, they're the ones who gave birth to you, they're the ones who have fed you, they're the ones who have given you a reason to walk, to sing. So you must celebrate them in one way or another, and we celebrate them here on Icon Radio. And if you'd like to send a shout out to that special woman in your life, I'm giving you that opportunity right now. Be sure to holler at me on +254 788 380030. Big shout out to the people at TUK, the administration office over there. Big shout out to all the mothers in that office. I know you guys are listening. Thank you guys for always tuning in and being here with us. Let's go back into the music, and we'll be looking at two celebrity mothers who talks about the realities of motherhood and, of course, being mothers within their scope of work. Keep it right here for more information on that. Lil Wayne and his Element featuring Lloyd featuring Lil Wayne, rather that was You. And you also were listening to Busta Rhymes featuring Chris Brown and Lil Wayne. Look at me now. Let me tell you, hey, now you know you're getting old when you see Busta Rhymes over there in skin tight jeans, okay, a skin tight jacket, trying to get down with Janet Jackson. My God, let me tell you. Woo! That is a clip we're going to be sharing on Friday because you know Fridays we're all about sharing your memes, your videos, your GIFs that have been trending for you during the week. And that one had to have trended for me over the weekend. Like, Janet ain't Janet no more. Buster ain't Buster no more. That busting, the one I'm busting on that stage, my friend, it was like you could see the hemming from behind the screen. You could see they were literally struggling to get down the way they used to get down when they were doing their music in their heydays. But it was so great to see them together. Those are legends, icons, and we definitely celebrate them in all their elements. Right now, yesterday celebrities celebrated Mother's Day all around the world, and of course we also celebrated them. Of course, we're looking at moms to be. We celebrate you, moms who have unfortunately left us. Like in our family, we had one leave us over the weekend, which is quite difficult. And a few friends of ours also were, putting out pictures of their moms. Dr. Riwamta, big shout out to you. Njeri Gugi, big shout out to you. Kendi, big shout out to you. My heart goes out to you guys as and went out to you guys also yesterday as you celebrated your moms who are no longer with us, but you could see the love through the screen of how much you love them and how much you shared with them. We're also, of course, celebrating rainbow moms. Rainbow moms are moms who never got to see their babies but carry them nonetheless. They still remain mothers. And those moms in waiting. And those are the moms who are really, really trying to conceive and get a child and haven't managed to, but are still at it and still keeping the faith. And of course, have consequently become mothers to others who are in need of their love. So yeah, big shout out to all the moms out there. But as we saw different celebrities and of course our friends and family celebrate in one way or another. Singer Wahu Kagwi and Nadia Mukami spoke about how they approach motherhood despite being in the public limelight. Now, in the era of the internet and social media, celebrity moms are often portrayed as epitomes of perfection. Their flawless appearances on red carpets, lavish lifestyles, and seemingly effortless juggling of careers and family life can create an illusion that fame and fortune shield them from the trials ordinary mothers encounter. However, motherhood is a journey that transcends all boundaries of fame, wealth, and status. That's very true. No matter how much money you have, being a mother, let me tell you, is just that. You have to go through, we all have to go through the phases. Children are different. They come in with different, they're like fingerprints. Yeah, they come in very different. They come in with very different characteristics, very different mannerisms, but you're still a mother to them one way or another. Now, behind perfect Instagram posts, celebrity mothers face challenges that cannot be solved by the societal status, like trying to keep their child safe and healthy, navigating ups and downs of the children's education and social lives, and trying to find time for themselves amidst all. Now, Wahoo, for her, she prioritizes raising socially responsible children and healthy emotional attachment to children. She says, as a mother of three, among the few celebrity mothers whose children's and families' lives have been fully exposed to the public eye, despite the constant scrutiny, Wahoo has managed to achieve tremendous success in her career while still juggling the responsibilities of raising her children and prioritizing her family with hubby David Madenge. Now, if you watched The Vault last week, we did talk about one of the members of Salt and Pepper, that was Salt, who was actually told to, terminate her pregnancy because it would interfere with her work as an artist, her stardom, which is not the case. Look at Wahoo. She's gone on to do whatever she has to do. Salt as well proved that she could still be a mother as well as an amazing, amazing performing artist. Now, she emphasizes the importance of raising socially responsible children who will fulfill their purpose, a value that cannot be instilled through fame and influence alone. This sweet love crooner also values an emotional connection with her children and understands the significance of connecting to their emotions and feelings. She believes that this connection does not depend on a mom's societal status or financial capability, adding that fame and money cannot guarantee a parent this connection with their children. Nadia Mukami also added onto this conversation, and they were talking to Pulse Live. And now for the songstress, Nadia Mukami, time is a precious commodity that cannot be brought with fame and wealth. As a mother to her young son, Hasib Kai, who recently celebrated his first birthday, Nadia believes that once the time is lost, it is irrecoverable. Therefore, she emphasizes the need to be intentional about creating lasting memories with children. Nadia also highlights that status and wealth cannot substitute good parenting, nor should they determine how one raises a child. Like all other parents, raising children is a process that has no precise formula. The Kai Wangu singer advises taking it one day at a time, following motherly instincts and avoiding comparisons with other children. Very, very important. Yeah. You know what's best for your child. So don't be looking again out to social media to see what other people are doing, because you and them live in one situation together. You know what's best for them. You know how best to take care of them. And don't let outside influences just disturb your relationship with your child. You can seek advice. You can take some things into consideration, but only you and your child know exactly the relationship that you two have. So always lean on that. Again, there's no precise formula, as Nadia said, in how to raise a child. Just follow your instincts and avoid comparison with other children. Especially, hey, let me tell you, these celebrities who have formed pages for their kids and always posting their kids. Sometimes you feel like, you look like you don't love your children, but no, you love them in your own way. And you embrace them in your own way. Again, don't fall into the pressures of what other people are doing. That's how they feel best to express themselves. Find your own way. Find it best how you can do that for your child. And of course, you express your love to them in the way you know best. All right. Lovely, lovely gems from our celebrity mothers. We'll go back into the music, but we do have Maleka stepping in and said she would like to play a song that was dedicated to her. That was "I Look to You" by Whitney Houston. That is coming up next. Yes, happy Mother's Day to you. And of course, we will definitely still be shouting out a lot of mothers throughout the day. We'll also be having the staff here at Icon Radio doing a little special something. So, of course, if you do have something that you'd like to send out to your special woman in your life, your mother, your wife, be sure to hit us up on +254 788 380030. Send us a video, a voice note, and we could actually be doing this all week as we dedicate it to the mothers in our lives, because there is never enough that we can do, and never enough time that can be allocated to celebrate them. Let's get back into the music. This is the Breakfast Jam. Beautiful, beautiful dedications right there. That was Tupac with Dear Mama. We also had Whitney Houston with I Look to You. Manze, let me tell you, when that song started, the fields, it was for the fields. Thank you guys so much for putting in your requests. We are exactly at the top of the hour. Larry Raff says, the music is absolute fire. Yes. Thank you for listening in. It has been a minute, but I'm back. Please play for me Cold as Ice. Absolute classic. That is coming for you as we finish off the breakfast jam. We also have Matunda who says, my son brought me concentrated juice and said, Happy Mother's Day. And said, Auntie told me to bring you food in bed. I laughed so hard, but it was so sweet. We ended up watching reruns of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in bed. Hashtag perfect. Oh, that is so cute. That is a very wise auntie, but that is so cute. Yes. These kids, they'll grow up very well, very fine. Don't you worry. Another one said, this is, who's this? This is Seth. Seth, big shout out to you. Seth says, good morning, Icon Radio. Please play for me Mama by Tupac Shakur. And you just listened to it. Thank you guys so much for sending in your requests. I think this week we're just going to be doing one big shout out to our mothers. So if you'd like to have your shout out put out, be sure to send us either a voice note or a video of yourself, and we'll be sure to make a nice package for you and put it out on our socials. Our WhatsApp number is +254 788 380030. If you know us, we go all out and we do it special. You saw the one for Valentine's. This one for Mother's Day is going to be extra special. So send in those voice notes or videos. It's sending a dedication to a mother in your life. Could it be a person who raised you, either a guardian, a grandmother, an auntie, or your biological mother, or somebody you see as a mother figure, or your wife, anybody you deem as a motherly figure in your life? Please let us know. Send in that voice note, that video. I will be sure to put it in a nice package for you and put it out onto our socials, because you know you're our tribe, you're our people. We got you like that. All right, I gotta head out, but of course, stand by for Money Mondays with Kangade, who makes a comeback today. And it's going to be with Jan Okonji of Business Growth Solutions. It's going to be an interesting topic as he shows you how to get your side hustle into your main hustle. I'm definitely going to be listening into that, because there are a lot of side hustles that have over there, but if I can make them make sense, that CENTS, then I'm definitely there for that conversation. So for you as an entrepreneur, a budding entrepreneur, you cannot afford to miss out on that conversation between 7 and 9 p.m. tonight. Of course, you can send in your comments and questions on our WhatsApp number or on the YouTube link, which will be provided later on today. We'll catch you again tomorrow. This has been The Breakfast Jam. I'm your girl, Myra Maloba, the Afro Punk Queen. Good day.